Hi, good afternoon. All this is Dolores from Getting Gigs, and today I'd like to talk to you about a side hustle or gig, TTEC. The reason I chose to talk about them today is because at one time I was actually interested in applying for a position with them. And at the time, like when I was going to apply, I actually got called for another company. So I just like kind of gave up on the process because I wasn't going to apply for like 10 different companies and have already an interview lined up for another one. But that was when I didn't want to work 100% remotely. And now that that's my goal is to work 100% remotely, doing either gigs, side hustles, or jobs that allow me to work remotely, I decided to take another look at them to see what they had available out there. So let me just go ahead and share the information with you because they actually had opportunities that I think a lot of you out here might be interested in. And they actually do have opportunities that are not in the United States that are available. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I went to their website, ttechjobs.com, and I actually went and scrolled to the bottom down here, and you'll see where they have customer service jobs available, technology, sales, insurance agents, jobs for veterans, corporate jobs, jobs for interns and recent graduates. I was mostly focused on working from home jobs. So that's the position that like that's the button that I press. And when you do that, there's 122 available positions that are remote. And you can filter by the country here. Now, you won't see a lot for certain countries out here, but that's because I chose remote. Now, if you don't choose remote, you'll actually see a lot of other opportunities out here. Like if you search, I'm sorry, but like if you, I have to go back to the home page so you can see it. But like if you search by like corporate jobs, jobs for, for interns, if you just do that and don't do remote jobs, you'll see other opportunities that might be available in your country. But let's go back to working from home jobs because that's what I'm concentrated on. And if you look, they actually have like a lot of different positions available in different, like some of them are from Colorado, Florida. You'll see positions like in different countries. And like I personally just went in and I just chose a few positions that I was interested in. And I chose this one, which was manager learning and development. And if you look at this position, the reason chose to look at this one is because the salary for this one is between 83,000 and 87,000 annually. And if you look at the criteria that's needed for this one, I did not see where it said, "Hey, you need a college degree." I didn't see that on there. Like I have a college degree, but sometimes I try not to look for just jobs that have college degrees because I don't want to sell myself short and miss on an opportunity that actually might still pay well without a college degree. So like I try to keep it in my mind that like, hey, does if it doesn't have a college degree requirement, doesn't mean necessarily a bad thing. Like if I meet the criteria, I'm going to apply for it. So for like this one, you have to have 2 years experience managing training or adult learning programs, 4 years experience training or adult learning, and then strong coaching skills, analytical and reporting skills, customer service orientation, like off Microsoft Office and call center experience. Now, there's a lot of you out here probably have this experience, so just keep that in mind. And if you have the experience, make sure that your resume is updated to reflect that. And I would go ahead and give them a shot and go ahead and apply. Now, don't sell yourself short and think, oh, I don't have a degree, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have that. No, if you meet a lot of the criteria here, update your resume to show that you meet the criteria and go ahead and apply because you might be the right fit for this position. And if you don't give yourself a chance, you will never know that. Don't miss out on an opportunity because you sell yourself short. That's one of the positions that I saw out there. Now, I did find another one out there that was like a lower paying position, and I'm going to show you that one, which was the healthcare customer service representative remote. Now, this one only paid like $16 an hour, but you have less for criteria that's required for this one. Like you have to have only 6 months customer service experience, a high school diploma or equivalent. I don't know why the other one doesn't say. Yeah, I saw nothing with a degree, and I think I even searched by degree. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, this one you need a high school diploma, computer experience, high speed internet, and then it tells you like the different, like the stuff that you'll need for this. Like, but this one doesn't have like a lot of criteria that you need for this one. And customer service experience, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have phone experience. Like if you worked at a store, like a grocery store, that's customer service experience because you're helping people. Oh, if you worked as a volunteer, that's customer service experience because you help people. So just keep that in mind when you see customer service experience. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need call experience. It just means that you have to be like you have to have worked with people before. So make sure you update your resume to say that you have customer service experience. If they question it more, then you can elaborate on what it is that you did. Just update your resume so that way your resume will match the job position, and then you have more of a likelihood to get hired or get an interview with the company. Now, in terms of like the hiring process, I saw this on all of them where what the hiring process is that you apply, you do an assessment, and if they like your assessment, like if you do well in the assessment, you'll get an interview, and then you propose a potential job offer. Now, a lot of these positions, like they go quickly, so like apply for all the ones that you think you meet the criteria for. See if they call you back. Do the assessments that they have out there, and then if you get hired, cool. And if you don't, you tried, you gave yourself an opportunity. Just give yourself an opportunity to see where you can go with the company like this. Now, what I did see on their company home, like on the front pages there, I'm going to go back to their front page. All the way up on top here, I did see where it says protect yourself from scams. I wanted to point that out before I ended this video. And the reason I wanted to point that out is because I actually did try to get scammed by a company that claimed to be a company and they were not. So I wanted to point that out to you. So I would look into that so that way you can know what to expect, like if other companies try to scam you. And when I pressed on that, like this is one of the screens that they have, but they have actually other like little video too that you can watch. And I wanted to point out this part right here. It says that all emails should come from at ttech.com. So if you get an email from another company claiming to be TTEC and it doesn't have the ttech.com on the email, then it's possibly a scam. So be cautious of it. And I'm going to tell you my experience, and it's going to be quick. I just want to tell you about it so that way you don't get scammed. So, what happened was I applied for a job that was similar to this. It was working from home, it was a remote position, and it was for a call center position. This is when I first became unemployed and I was looking for a position to work from home. I applied for the position. Like a day later, I got like a bunch of emails and like I got some stuff saying, oh, like on a text message saying, we saw your resume. We're interested in giving you an interview and we think you're going to be a good fit. Now, if you look down here, like where it says this part, like right here, instead of Google Chat, they did like a Snapchat thing. They said, well, what we could do is we can do an interview with you on Snapchat, or that, I think it was, no, it was Skype. We'll do an interview with you on Skype, and we want to do the interview right away because we want to go ahead and get you hired right away. We think you're a good fit for the position. Everything sounded really great, but a lot of the stuff that they said about the position exactly matched what was on my resume. So I think that what they did is they just took my resume off of like Career Builder or one of those places where I had posted it, and then they were just reading word for word, like all the stuff that I had, the qualifications, and I honestly thought, wow, this is going to be great. I have all the criteria they're looking for. It sounded too good to be true. So then what happened was go ahead and set up the interview with them, and then as we're doing the interview, they started asking me too many questions that were personal, like, oh, do you still live on this street? Is this your current phone number? When's the last time you moved? Like it was questions that they were asking that would not be part of an interview. And then what happened was the person that got on, like started going into the interview thing, was a different person. And the person name was supposedly the president of the company. Now, first of all, unless you're applying for a corporate position that is a high position within the company, or in terms of where you're going to be working directly with them, the obviously like the CEO is probably not going to interview. The CEO is not going to interview unless it's a small company or you're applying for a position that you're going to be reporting directly to the CEO, that you're applying for a VP position, assistant vice president position, something that's higher up on the food chain. So that was my second warning there. And then what happened was they were asking me for me to verify a few pieces of my personal data. That's when I knew it was a scam. Like they asked me like, "Oh, can we have the last four of your social security number? Could we have this?" And I was like, "Scam, this call's over." I took a screenshot of everything. I kept a copy of everything just for my own records. But that was my scam thing that happened to me. I just want to share that story with you so that way you'll keep you mindful of it. Because honestly, it sounded like the best job in the world, and I almost fell for it until they started asking me too many questions that were not related to the job. Like it was all about me and about, you know, like they just wanted too much information about me. So just be mindful of that. And I'm glad that they do give you that opportunity here to go check about job scams, because you don't want to be scammed. So on that note, I just want to show you one last thing about the company. I did search for them on Glassdoor. They did have a 3.4 star rating, which is a decent rating. They do have mixed reviews on here. I am telling you that because 3.4, like that's a little bit above average, but um, you know, they have some bad reviews and they have some good reviews. But you have to take it with a grain of salt because this company has been through some things, and like they did like a restructuring, they have a new name. They've been around, like if you looked at one of the positions, if you look on the bottom, I think it says like it's been around from like 1990 or like 1980 something. It's all the way at the bottom in 1982. So they've been around since 1982, but they had a different name at one time. So, some of these reviews out there are kind of old and it might have been before the name change. So, only like if you're going to look at reviews, look at the most recent ones and look at like, what some of the people there say. That they have some people that say it's a great place to come for me to work for, others say that it's got poor management. Some say that it's good pay, some say it's low pay. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. And for me personally, what I think is when a company has a 3 point star or above, I'm gonna look at it and see if they're a good fit for me. It doesn't matter if it was a good fit for that person or that person, they're not you. So like apply, and if you get hired, go ahead and try it. If it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. But at least you tried it based upon your assessment. You determine whether or not it's going to be good for fit for you for a long run. And sometimes you take a job like this to take a job just so you can have your bills paid until you find something better. You don't need to tell them that, but you do that just so that way you can get your foot in the door. And then if there's something like else in the company that's available, yeah, work until you're able to transfer to that position or something at that level. Or you take this, get your foot in the door, get your experience for customer service or call center, and then you move on to another company. That's just my 2 cents right there. So anyway, this is Lord from Getting Gigs. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you can like and subscribe, I would appreciate it so I can make more videos. Anyways, good night.